Well, the economic agenda, I think it's very, very important. And I don't think it's just Republicans. I think Democrats are making a huge mistake in not doing what the Democrats did in 1981 with Reagan, which is get on our agenda, on our board, and really helped us. If you remember, it was Phil Gramm and Kent Hansen, all those others who voted for us and gave us the tax cuts in 1981. So the Democrats should be there as well as Republicans. Yeah. It's just good for America.
Well, no, but I'm hearing from Democratic economists that, any expectations of growth greater than 2.5% just aren't possible. We're too big. We'll never grow like that again, which has got to sound familiar to you from back in 1980.
Yeah, well, it's silly. It's silly. Let me just give you a number, and Bill, from January 1st, 1983, when the tax cuts took full effect, to June 30th, 1984. Now, that's what, 18 months?
Yep.
It's a year and a half period of time. During that period of time, the U.S. economy grew by 12% in real terms. It grew about 8% per annum compounded during that period of time. I mean, that's Chinese growth rates. There is no reason why, given the awful state of affairs of the U.S. economy, if we did our policies right, we couldn't get a hell of a lot faster growth than 3 or 4%. Now, maybe not 8% like we had there or like we had with the Kennedy or like we had with Harding and Coolidge, but we can get one heck of a lot faster growth than 3 or 4%.
Just to play devil's advocate with you, though, Art, back when Reagan was president, we had a much smaller national debt than we do now. Does that matter?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, no, it doesn't. We had a very high national debt, we thought at the time, and it worked beautifully, and the economy was there. It's incentives, and when you make work rewarding, if you tax people who work and you pay people who don't work, don't be surprised, Bill, if you get a lot of people not working. And just reverse those numbers, and this thing will just take off like a rabbit. We have the highest corporate tax rate in the OECD right now. If we drop that rate from 35% to 15%, that would be an enormous elixir for economic growth. And by the way, we wouldn't lose revenues either. We'd probably make up for it in the money coming in right from that tax cut alone with no offsets.
Well, this has been the big sticking point in these because people want to do these on a permanent basis, so they've got to do a reconciliation. Would you favor an approach where I say, okay, fine, we'll skip reconciliation for now. Let's go with 4 years or 8 years?
Well, I would do that rather than forcing reconciliation. But if you just imagine these offsets, I mean, if we'd have had those offsets, Kennedy Go-Go 60s never would have occurred. If we'd had them Harding and Coolidge, the Roaring 20s never would have occurred, nor would the Reagan 80s have ever occurred if we had been required to have offsets to the tax rate reductions that we had in 81. We didn't, and we got this boom in the economy because of the tax cuts not being offset by some silly tax increase elsewhere.